Okay, here we go. Getting into game one. Our series tonight, we got ReBrand versus BB Clocks. ReBrand on the blue side, BB Clocks on the red side to start it off here in game one. And, should be a good match tonight as well to round out the week. As we have a few interesting bands coming through the Blitzcrank, the Vi, the Jace. We've seen a few Vi's and Blitzcranks being played, so cool to see some more more new champions being picked up here by some different teams. And Jace and Vladimir here. Well, we're in NA, so I don't know why anyone's banning the Jace, but the Vladimir has been good for a few different mid laners here. Mostly been playing in the mid lane. A few top lane picks, but seems to be most popular, among our mid laners here, as the Jarvan is also going to be banned out. A pretty powerful flex pick between the top and jungle. And we'll see what the last ban is coming in here for BB Clocks. Gonna be an Alistair, so a couple different bans here, spreading it around. And well, Lucian's up, and then almost always signals a first pick Lucian here. ReBrand on the blue side gets the first pick, and they don't waste any time in picking up the Lucian for themselves. Seen a few different combinations with the Lucian, but already a couple of melee sports have been banned away that sometimes go well with him. Of course, as we always still have the Pike, we still have a few other aggressive things if they want to go that route. As Nocturne will be the jungle pickup here now for King. Very interesting pickup after. I mean, Nocturne has seen a little bit of play, but hasn't been super popular. I feel like you could let that slide later into the draft. But it is a powerful pick if it can get online. And Ezreal now can be locked in against the Lucian, so should feel okay about that matchup bottom lane. Generally, that's been one of the better picks into the Lucian so far. Ezreal just been solid this season. And Sejuani on the other side. So that's one of the things I was thinking about, is picking the Nocturne here. The only jungle ban, well, I suppose you count Jarvan and Vi as two jungle bans, but Jarvan's a little bit of flex pick. So you only have, those are the only two jungle bans really. And you're leaving up Sejuani, you're leaving up a lot of powerful picks, and you take the Nocturne for King on the red side. I think it's just a very interesting priority they've got going on there. Or maybe they have a very specific idea of what they want to do with their team composition already, and so they're like, well, we're getting the Nocturne right now. But Syndra and I be comboed alongside the Sejuani here, so definitely a potential for some powerful ganks in the mid lane once that level 6 has been reached for both the mid lane and jungle. One stun and you're pretty much dead there. Maybe a cleanse will be picked up in the mid lane for Licenseless Rider. Soraka gonna join Ezreal there down in the bottom lane, so should be relatively safe. Of course, there is the possibility that something like a Pyke is still drafted, or any other melee support that wants to hard engage, and the Soraka could be in trouble. No, of course, no escapes for her. Just the silence is a really only defensive tool. As they're remaking the lobby. Classic. Not sure what that was. Maybe a DC will ask. Okay, it was a DC. The 80 carry Klein DC'd, I think, actually. Unfortunate, but we'll get right back in the lobby in just a moment, so stick around. And we'll be back. Don't worry about it. Happens every once in a while. Okay, already got one person back in the lobby. You're still waiting on one more, and then we should be good to go to start off the draft phase again. I assume they'll just go for the same picks and bans up until the point that we DC'd at, and then we'll go from there. We can all blame Klein, because he's the one who DC'd. So please feel free to do that. Some interesting picks already for BB Clocks. They've got the Soraka, Ezreal bottom lane, and the Nocturne in the jungle. Very interesting that they're setting up with those champions early on. I wouldn't, if you're gonna pick the Soraka Nocturne, I feel like you do it much later in the draft. A, because Soraka can be counterpicked, but B, I feel like Nocturne just isn't as high a priority as some other junglers. But they really want it. There's got to be a reason for it. Unclear as to what that is right now, but maybe they've got something special planned here. Maybe an Orianna pick in the mid lane to combo with the Nocturne. Maybe a few other things. With ultimates, Jarvan already banned away, so there's no potential for that. Now, we're sorting out the password, apparently, to the lobby. Hopefully he'll be back in here just a second. RIP League client. Speaking on where the teams are right now, BB Clocks sitting at 6 and 5, ReBrand at 5 and 6. So both teams within just a game of each other. ReBrand can tie themselves up in the standings with BB Clocks with a win tonight. But we have a lot of teams at 6 wins right now, or at 5 wins. All the way from 9th place up to the tie for 3rd, where Kuma Blades, BB Clocks, Lane Zero Blizzard, and US Army Esports sit. They're all 5 to 6 wins. So the league is very, very close right now. Literally, first place is 1 win ahead of 2nd place, and 3rd is 1 win behind 2nd. So like everything's basically, all the positions are very, very, very close. Even Rats, who are in 9th, are only 3 wins behind 1st, and they're 1 win out from a lot of the others. So the Rats are certainly still have despite being in 9th place, the Rats are actually still in fine position. But the teams tonight, BB Clocks and ReBrand, are very much in the hunt for the playoffs. There's going to be a lot of important matches in these upcoming weeks, because there's going to be a lot of head-to-heads where those games will decide who moves up in places. Because 1 or 2 wins sends you up, can send you up. We have 4-way tie for 3rd. 1 win can send you very far up, and so beating an important opponent in the standings means a lot. And ReBrand and BB Clocks certainly are very close here. Just again, a win separating them. So it should be pretty important here tonight. I know even our last place team, the Mateos, are very, very... I don't think they're actually... I'm pretty sure they're still in the playoffs technically. If they win out, I'm pretty sure they still have a chance to get in. And they're just doing much better than our last place team did in Season 1. Our last place team in Season 1 had like 1 win, I think, at this point in the season. So the league's been very, very close so far. The Mateos are at 3 and 8 right now. But they're last place, and it's like, wow, I mean, that's pretty close. They're literally only 2 wins behind the Rats, who are in 9th. And the Rats are, like, literally dead even with the rest of the league. So, again, if the Mateos win out, like, they've definitely got a real chance to come back in this one and actually make it. They actually have a realistic chance of, like, sneaking into last place in the playoffs and stuff. They are by no means out of this one. As we're getting back into our champion select. Again, we went with all the picks. The bans aren't showing up there. I think they just didn't ban anything for the speed. I'm not sure what this is right there, but everything's the same. Picks and bans all the same. Oh, now the bans are coming through. Oh, weird. When we remade the lobby, I guess it's preserved the picks. Interesting, but not the bans. Or maybe that's just a visual bug. I'm not sure what that is, but we'll find out in a minute here. But I assume we're going to do the exact same things. That's usually what we do in these kinds of situations. So they'll just go ahead and pick those up. But yeah, the table very, very close. No one in comfortable position. Like I said, wasted potential. Just a game ahead of Paragon 5. So that is a tight race to be sure. As, yep, we're getting all the same bands here. Again, not sure if that's a visual bug that we've already have these champions picked. It looks like it is a visual bug. So they still have to re-pick all those champions and things, but that's okay. Paragon 5, our second place team, is playing Lane Zero Blizzard on the second stream tonight. That matchup is pretty important as well. That will decide, because Paragon 5, if they win, they'll obviously stay in second place, but if they lose, I believe they'll be... They'll still, well, hold on, Lane Zero will be 7 and 5. Yeah, so Lane Zero Blizzard, if they win tonight, would tie Paragon 5 for second place. And if BB Clocks wins, they would also be tied for second place. So we could have potentially a three-way tie for second. If Lane Zero Blizzard lose and BB Clocks loses, then we could have like a a six-way tie for third. So yeah, this is very close here. A lot of people, a lot of teams, I should say, in very close proximity to each other. And I imagine it's going to stay that way throughout the season. As there we go, new bands coming in. We got the Braum and Ari going to go down here. So a few more target bands for the most part. The Ari, again, not very common, but Licensed Rider does play it. And Braum, always reliable support alongside the Lucian. Makes a lot of sense to pick up in this game, but a good band to take that one off. Morgana as well here. So banning away a lot of defensive supports. Considering you have an Ezreal Soraka bottom lane, I'd imagine this means that they are looking for potentially a very aggressive team composition here, picking up some solo laners that want to dive in the back line there with Nocturne, I would imagine. Silas also going to be banned away, which so far has a few good ults to steal, actually. Soraka ult and Nocturne ult are very good. Ezreal ult's just like a little bit more damage. And I mean, it's fine. It's by no means bad, but it's not great. What you really would look for in this situation is Nocturne and Soraka ult. Or the Swain ult would be really good too if that's what gets locked in. It is a Swain. So this could go either top lane or mid lane. It is not known yet. Swain has been played in a Syndra before. So I could definitely see that going in the mid lane, but it's probably going to... Where it goes probably depends on what gets picked. In response in the top lane for Gobi, or will be picked by Gobi, but for Klein. As Thresh will be picked up now for by SWF for Gobi. Always confusing, but Lucian Thresh in the bottom lane here against Ezreal Soraka. Gotta be a little bit worried for the Soraka. Definitely, she's got to be careful. Gonna be important to hang on to that flash as long as possible. As our last pick looked to be a Kennen. Nope, gonna switch to Camille at the last second here. So Klein gonna go with Camille up in the top side. We'll see what this means here for Oven Johnson, Licensed Rider. Well, that might just mean a Yorick for Oven Johnson with Licensed Rider in the mid lane on the Swain. And that makes a bit of sense here. Gonna pick a split pusher alongside this Nocturne means that Camille will not be safe in the side lane. And she doesn't have a Galio or anyone with an ult, a global ulti, a Shen, to come in and help her if she does get collapsed on the side lane. So the Camille's got to be very, very careful. Even if Camille and Yorick are even in the side lane, if Nocturne is not seen on the map, or even if he is seen but he's near that side of the map, the Camille's got to be back off because then she'll just get picked off. So the Yorick Nocturne combo creates another scenario where you have really interesting pressure in the side lane that you normally wouldn't have just by picking a Yorick into a Camille. This jungle pick makes a lot of difference. So I definitely like where the Nocturne was taken. I think that makes a lot of sense here. Gonna allow the Yorick to do what he does best and run down that side lane and hit turrets much easier than he normally would be able to. Alright, and we got our specter delay, but then should be good to go after that. So just a couple more minutes to kill, and then we'll get into game one here. Like I said, we have another match. Lane 0 Blizzard versus Pair on 5. They're still waiting for their specter delay as well. But Burgers and Fries is playing Zed again. Got a few interesting lineups over there, so should be a good game there as well. In a York, of course. Seen so much of York recently. But champion that just was so unpopular for years and years, but now has really become a meta champion. Really, I mean, he's a few buffs and he's there. He's ready to go. The York is actually a top laner you don't play just as a joke or because you're a one trick or whatever. It's actually like a legitimate pick, which is really interesting to see. Another minute and a half here, and then we'll be good to go. But the Soraka is taking that barrier you see in the bottom lane to try and deal with that Thresh Lucian aggression, but also going to have to play safe, probably behind the Ezreal. Be very careful of that Thresh. Just run around behind the minions to avoid the hook as well. Always an interesting debate to, between AD carries and supports to take either heal or barrier on your support or your AD carry. Like which direction are you going to go with it? Because if you are going to play these Ardent Sensor supports, and this was true in even Ardent Sensor meta, back when everyone took heal and barrier in the bottom lane instead of ignite and heal. Was which summer spell does the AD carry get? Which summer spell does the support get? In this case, of course, Soraka has the barrier, but sometimes in the Ardent Sensor meta, it's actually more common to have heal on support and barrier on the AD carry. But especially with Soraka, I think it's interesting because she benefits more from the heal because she is a heal and shield support that builds those items that help out with that sort of thing. As our specter delay is timing out, we should be ready to go in just a moment. The Soraka gonna have to be safe here, but we've had a few good Thresh players in the past. We'll see if Gobi can make something happen today. Gotta worry about him in team fights as well. Lots of stuff to jump on him in the back line or just Syndra damage throughout. So positioning always important as Soraka, but definitely this game for thereby also. Okay, should be good to go. All our labels fixed up. And we got the Sway and the Syndra matchup in the mid lane. Should be an interesting one. Both electrocute available, so potential for solo kills there. Certainly as they both take a Ignite as well. And everywhere else, I mean, pretty standard rune choices. Overall, nothing too crazy. We press the attack Camille, though. We did see a Camille in the top lane went for Comet. That was mostly because of the range matchup against Kennen when we did see her. But against melee matchups, you most commonly see that press the attack, so makes sense. As we're just about to get started here, if the league client actually wants to load, that would always be good. Any second now it'll do it. There we go. Almost. Now we're good. Okay. With that aside here, it looks like we might have an invade. Coming out from ReBrand, they have the Thresh. Sejuani, not a bad level 1 champion as well. Just because you can add CC level 1, which some champions cannot. But they're going through the lane here. They try and come through the river now in the bush. Looking for the invade. Gobi gonna go first, I'd imagine. And there you go. He makes his approach. They have the Soraka. Is he going to invest the flash here? The silence, though, dropped down. Not bad to get that skill first here, as Klein gonna skill the hook shot, but does not end up committing. So that does hurt his lane a little bit, but he should be okay. I feel like they would have committed to that, though. It was a little interesting that they didn't, because the Soraka had already used the silence. I guess they didn't know it was waiting for them in the bush, so they didn't want to commit to it. As over a prolonged level 1, I think that BBC would win because they have the Ezreal. Plus the lethal tempo on the Nocturne. They just have more consistent damage output. Considering you've already skilled a hookshot on the Camille. And Thresh would have had to skill Q as well. The Death Sentence, again, you'd have less consistent damage there, so definitely can understand not wanting to commit to that and run into a 5v5 you're not ready to take. Still that area harass though with Soraka is still very annoying. Got nerfed a little bit, I think, but that was a while ago. It's still good. It's not quite as abusable. You do actually have to play around the cooldowns though with Soraka. I've seen some people play it and they don't understand you've got to wait for your Scorch and your area to actually come back to you, and so that you can proc it again. Because sometimes they'll just throw out Qs randomly and they'll just run out of mana and they won't actually get the damage they need in the lane to make a difference. Because they really do need to wait to proc that consistently. As we get some more trading going on in all the lanes. So far, not too busy of a start. Both junglers clearing their camps. Scuttlecrab was picked up by King, but they've not run into each other really. Not had a fight yet. And it looks like the top side Scuttlecrab will be secured by Tokishiro. So Nocturne not going to get 2 crabs this time, just the 1. As you can see how that poke is really taking its toll on SWBF and Gobi. Still a couple potions though, so it should be staying for a little bit. But now it looks like they're going forward. Thereby also, Yungu is not landing the mystic shots he needs. Needs a couple more, but now SWBF very low. Flash forward. The heal going to come out and save him for now. Thereby also with a flash. First blood goes over to Gobi. Just continuously autoing down the Ezreal. The Death Sentence will not land this time. Summoner spells used all around, but in the end, first blood picked up. A very good start for ReBrand. And now the Ezreal is forced to go back because of that death. Just not able to pick up that tier. Big that he is not able to get that one. Now he's in a bit of a rough spot. Another hook shot from Klein, but King is coming down, and now Klein has no escape. Gonna be able to slow him up, and that might buy a little bit of time. And All the damage done to Oven Johnson, there will be no follow-up, so Klein gonna be fine. Already a gold lead being edged out now by ReBrand because of that first blood and some CS advantages in both mid and bottom. As TP going to be used here by Oven Johnson. Some good trading from Klein. Should secure him TP advantage. Don't believe there will be a freeze coming in. Actually, it might just be a freeze. So the TP is forced out of Klein, but he'll TP back to the turret to be safe. Smart play by Oven Johnson is make sure that Klein has to TP back, otherwise he'd lose a lot. So that way he doesn't go down and lose that TP parity there. But still, he's struggling in this lane. He's up CS, but the fighting has not gone well for him. But now a gank bottom lane. Tokushiro is found there by also. The stun will come through. Flash forward. The hook. Death Sentence does land, and now Nugu is in trouble as well. Looks like it'll be a double kill coming in. SWBF picks up 2 in the bottom lane. A fantastic gank setup there. The lantern in from Gobi, then the flash Death Sentence secured the second kill. Very nice play from him so far. Picking up first blood and securing the next 2 kills of the game for his AD carry. Fantastic play so far. The Thresh definitely lifting up to the hype that we often put around it. And ReBrand has their bottom lane in a great situation. This mid lane has gone well so far for Bezelheim. Up about 2 waves of CS. Over actually 2 waves of CS right now. So he's done very well for himself so far. The Dragon will be picked up. The Cloud Drake, the first of the game, picked up at 6.5 minutes by Tokushiro with the help of Gobi. Now a gank in the mid lane. King is not level 6, but Bezelheim is in trouble. Flashes away. Gets him out for now, but oh, the never move is there. Lysis rather gonna pick up that kill. Tokushiro gonna get away with the Arctic Assault. Almost got away, but the never move just caught him at the edge of that. The max range there. Not quite able to get it. That's Klein. Now struggling in this lane. He was winning earlier, but down several waves of CS, and he'll be able to get a little bit back underneath his turret, but he's suffering a lot of damage because of these ghouls and the Maiden of the Mist. Making things difficult, but now the dive comes in. King going to come in with the ultimate. Oven Johnson going to get the kill there. Another good gank top lane after a successful gank mid lane. King, now that he's reached a couple levels, he's been able to make stuff happen around the map, and the solo lanes are going well for BB Clocks. After help from their jungler, as Bezelheim going to make his way up top lane to try and preserve this turret, making sure it doesn't go down first. With that Maiden of the Mist and all his minions, you can get very worried about that. Does mean Bezelheim sacrificed a back timing though, so he'll lose a bit in the mid lane to help out Klein there top side. Ezreal finally has that tier. He's got really no combat stats. He's just got a bit of mana, so any fighting will certainly go in favor of SWBF and Gobi from now on. Pretty much guaranteed the item disparity is just too much to really keep up with. Assuming they don't walk face first into a turret and miss all their skills, I think they win. You never know though, stranger things have happened. As Bezelheim, he's still up 20 CS right now. Things are going well for him. And a blue buff steal will come in. Tokushiro with a smart invade. Now that they have such big priority and advantage in this bottom lane, easy to rotate Gobi over and help secure that blue buff. And now a gank mid lane. Tokushiro charging forward. Will stun up. Lysless Rider, the unleashed power. And will not be enough. The heal from Soraka able to keep Lysless Rider alive. Bezelheim, despite dying to that one gank, has still done a very good job in this lane. Again, up a couple waves of CS as he goes over to pick up his blue buff. And Lysless Rider is sitting there wondering why his jungler allowed that to be stolen. So that blue buff advantage will certainly help even more. And Bezlime still has the ignite, so once that ult comes up, cool, then maybe something happens. But a gank coming in here. Tokashiro finds the Arctic Assault on Oven Johnson, and the rest of the stuns are there, and this should be it. Hextech ult may even used to make sure he had no way of escaping. Didn't have a flash though, so I doubt he was going to survive. But crossing their T's and dotting their I's is a stun landed by Bezlime. Gobi with a death sentence, and SWBF here in the mid lane. A full rotation from the bottom lane of ReBrand. Caught unawares, Licensed Rider goes down. Surprised the bottom lane didn't call it out either. There is vision control in the river here for ReBrand, but Licensed Rider didn't even know that they were coming. Had no idea that they were missing, I guess, and was completely on the wrong side of the lane, was sitting there in the middle to the right side of it, and the stun from Bezlime easily chained by Gobi, and down he goes. Now you've got 3 kills on this Lucian. SWBF looking very good so far. The team's going to have to rely on him, though. He's their main damage was for now. Bezlime is in a good spot, but SWF's the one where all the gold has been funneled to. So he's got to do something with it. There's Gobi with another death sentence that would have landed, but quick shift away. Rift Herald being started up, I believe, by the Nocturne. There it is. We hear the charge. The cry for the charge, at least. So the Rift Herald probably going to go over to King. Tokashiro is on the bottom side of the map, and he's looking to go for the Ocean Drake, it seems like. Both sides playing their priority now, as Rift Herald is taken. Got it, yep, does pick it up. So yeah, both sides playing their priority. ReBrand knows the strength is their bottom lane right now in this game. Bezlime just might be able to steal this one, though. He does! Oh, a cheeky play there with just the last orb to come in and pick up that kill. Man immune here completed for Nuogu. No Sheen just yet. Did not rush an Iceborne Gauntlet or anything like that. The True Shot Barrage comes through, but not enough damage. Tokashiro secures that one. So now we've reached the 12.5 minute mark. 1,000 gold lead here for ReBrand. But the win condition here for BB Clocks, I think, was always their side lane pressure with Oven Johnson. And then also the pressure from King, perhaps collapsing on Klein. And now that Oven Johnson is ahead pretty significantly, I think you would call this early game fine. I don't think you'd call it good because the Lucian has 3 kills. And your Ezreal's died twice. But I think you call it fine, considering you do have that to leverage. Plus the Swain isn't doing too bad either. So I think this is actually an okay start. As Yilt will come through, a flash away from there by also another gank in the bottom lane for Tokashiro, but this time this one doesn't work out. Still a close call though. As Rift Herald will now be dropped topside. Oh, a fantastic interrupt by Klein, but now he might have just bitten off more than he can chew. The fear is going to come through King. Maybe able to chase him down. The Visions of Empire not there. Bezlime going to buy some time. King still going to go over the wall, though, with the ultimate. And that looks like Klein just might go down here. The fear going to be enough. As Bezlime comes with the unleashed power, though, he's going to find a return kill here onto King. A 1-for-1 trade so far. Bezlime again going to push everyone away. Don't come in my safe space. Tokashiro, though, laying in wait here for Liceless Rider. Bezlime in trouble. Ignite coming down, but Liceless Rider is stunned up for now. Tokashiro trying to buy the room for Bezlime. And looks like he has done it. Bezlime going to survive for now. True Shot Barrage comes in. Tokashiro in trouble himself, though. Gets stunned up by the ghouls, and down he will go. Stayed around a little bit too long. Need to leave when he found enough room for Bezlime to get away. So it ends up being a 2-for-1 trade overall. Could have been 1-for-1, though. Sloppy play there. As Gobi tries for a flash hook play, but that time it doesn't work out. Got a little bit too confident based on his earlier play. You miss 100% of the shots you don't take, right? So might as well try for it. Flash is 5-minute cooldown. It's basically nothing. It's such a short cooldown. Who cares? Well, now no neutral objectives on the map. Everyone just sitting waiting around. First turret still has not been taken down. The Rift Tilt already used, but was interrupted, of course, by Klein with a very nice play that he ended up dying from, but I think it was still worth it in the end to preserve the first turret, considering your bottom lane has the potential for taking the first turret in their lane if they can continue this pressure. Tokishiro trying for another blue invade. And he gets it this time. So a second steal. 2 blue buffs denied from King and Licenseless Rider. Good. Tokishiro continuing to get edges here. He's sitting even in kills in CS, but the value you don't see is the pressure he's put on King and the advantage he's accrued for his team. As a potential dive, but no, going to back off. Tokishiro just going to throw the ult and move back out. As the focus is this turret, but it's going to survive for at least another wave. This Zonius is used here. Bezaline trying to stay alive, but now King going in the back line. He's found. Oh, the Syndra, but no, he's going to get taken out. Push back. Bezaline with a great play. And looks like everyone will survive here for ReBrand. No, Oven Johnson going to get a solo kill on the top side. License Rider continuing to chase. He's looking for the explosion to kill a couple of members. Does find the kill onto Gobi. Bezaline going to turn this around back onto the AD carry. Finds Mango. And down he goes himself. A 2-for-2 trade overall. Not counting that solo kill on the top side. But now looks like BB Clocks will be able to get the push on and maybe get some more damage onto this turret in the bottom lane, as they have a few healthier members at the end of that one. But Evan Johnson with a solo kill on the top side and the turret is big. He picks up the first turret of the game. So that play, despite being a 2-for-2 in the bottom side, because the 1v1 was won, positive for BB Clocks to be sure. And now they're even going to get a TP. Everyone pulls him back in. Oh, and Show SWBF! He's going to be okay. But that was too close for comfort. As Evan Johnson now TPs to the bottom side, looking to maybe push. Does have Maiden of the Mist if he wants to make that play happen, but looks like he just kind of wasted TP as he TPs and immediately backs from the bottom lane. But of course you can't cancel it anymore, so it makes sense that he probably pressed it and regretted it immediately, and then he was like, well, it's too late now. Again, no team map purchase for Evan Johnson. Looks to be that Triforce and then rushing a second item is more important for most Yorick players. Seen some Camille's as well do that same thing where they just rush the Triforce. But Camille's are a bit more dependent on team map for their wave clear, so Klein is going to pick this one up nice and early. It was his first completed item. First of anything, really. Rod of Ages still not purchased though for Licenseless Rider, which is, I think, definitely later than he would have liked to have it. I think he has the gold for it. Indeed he does. He's sitting on 2,200 gold right now. And to be perfectly honest, I think that's a little bit mismanagement of time. He should have backed after that last play when he got all his kills so that he could pick a Rod of Ages earlier. Because those stacks are going to be very important. Because you're going to start team fighting mid 20 minutes and you're not going to have a fully stacked Rod of Ages, which is, you know, you're losing a lot of value of that item. So I think he should have been a little bit more aggressive about trying to get it back in and picking that item up sooner. But who am I to say, right? Want to stay on the map for now, at least, to help out his team, especially with that bottom side play. Need to make sure he was there to help out. Can't blame him for that. Now the strong bottom lane, though, from ReBrand has been sent up top side, and they're looking to take this turret pretty quickly. Klein continuing to fight Oven Johnson here on the bottom side, and now he's going to force flash way out of the ghouls, but he may just die anyway. No, the hook shot will get him out to safety. Flash trade in the bottom side there between the top laners. And Oven Johnson looks to be securing another turret here, his second of the game. And now both side lane outers have been taken down, which is pretty important if you've got a split pushing team comp like this. But 4-man in the mid lane here for ReBrand. They don't really want to sit and play a side lane game here. As hook lands. Lysis Rider gets pulled back. Sony's going to buy him some time. The calling is here. Turret does go down. Tokashiro, though, in the front line will help out. And Gobi with the final hook secures the death. Shut down for SWBF. Picks up his 4th kill of the game. 4 kills, 4 assists. Now looking for their 4th turret of the game. As they move on to the mid lane inner turret. Firing away, though. Nugu is looking for that kill. Gobi was low, and those Mystic shots do add up. Flash forward, though. Gobi lands a death sentence after a great stun from Bezalheim. Down goes the Soraka. No more healing. Oven Johnson here to help out. But Nugu and Oven Johnson don't seem to be enough so far. The Ghouls, though, in the main mist helping out a lot. Gobi going to be forced to run along with the rest of ReBrand. So the fight is actually turned. And a 1-for-1 trade so far. Bezalheim now caught up, forced to flash. Interesting interaction there with the Ghouls against the wall. The Ghoul wall against the real wall. And now, Oven Johnson and Nugu are moving into the mid lane, and they will take out their 3rd turret of the game. 3-3 in turrets. The gold only 1,000 apart as well. ReBrand looked to be blowing open this game, taking up the inner turret and extending their gold lead, but unfortunately pulled back now. BB Clock's not out of it yet. They've still got a very strong York in the side lane, but they are not capable of team fighting, really. A 5v5, a true 5v5 would certainly go over in the way of ReBrand. I highly doubt that they, unless the engage is really spectacular for BB Clocks, or ReBrand takes a really stupid fight underneath a turret, or after, you know, being chunked by Baron or something like that, it should always go over to ReBrand. Without a doubt. Lion comes over the wall, finds stun on Oven Johnson, but just going to take the Maiden in the Mist and back out. Sometimes, though, that can get a lot of value. The Maiden in the Mist does a lot of damage over the course of a team fight. Gobi, they're going to find a hook. He's gone over, but no team to support him. Lucky they weren't turned around, but now Klein coming in with an engage here from Tokashiro. They find Oven Johnson. He's their big target. Looking to try and get him down, but the Soraka healing is there. He's going to get a turn kill. Though Oven Johnson's still alive. Back to half health now. Tokashiro getting turned around. Ult coming from King. He's going to find his way here on the AD carry. Kills the jungler, but now he's not going to get on himself. An auto from SWBF will sentence him to death. As Bezalheim pushes 4 members back. He's forced to run, though, into the jungle and being slowed up by Nugu. And now more Mystic shots landing. Bezalheim trying to run away, but no Lantern available to help him get out. And 3 members go down. That's exactly what I was talking about. ReBrand with really just forced that engage too hard. And Oven Johnson just turned them around with the help of there by Asa. Too much healing. There is 1 grievous wounds, but only from SWBF. And it wasn't applied during that fight. And Oven Johnson was able to heal through the entire thing. With ult and the constant W healing, you know, Oven Johnson just cannot die with Soraka next to him. And now they get the Mountain Dragon as well, which even further bolsters the split push here. Oven Johnson trying to do the work. Licensed Rider also created a lot of room in that team fight, did a lot of the damage there. Very, very good job by BB Clocks. A team fight that they should never have won, but are able to pull it out. Absorb that engage so well, and the Soraka, well, we all know how powerful she can be. The Wish just changes the complexion of a team fight. And no amount of CC there could really help, because they just didn't have the damage to follow it up. A very nice Syndra stun by Bezalheim, and then Gobi followed it up, and they chained the CC there for a long time, but didn't work out. As Unleashed Power, going to do a lot of damage. But unless Syndra is one-shotting someone, they can get healed by the Soraka and be right back in the fight. Sony's now picked up by Licensed Rider as well, which is an important team-fighting tool. As well as just a tool overall for Licensed Rider and Swain players. It's just a very good item for that champion. Gotta stop watching King as well. Another big tool for the Nocturne. Be able to dive in and survive for a while. Again, still no team map for Oven Johnson, so his wave clear a little bit slower than normal, but he still clears that wave pretty damn fast. 25 minutes in though, 12 to 11 kills. Again, pretty much dead even in goal, just a couple hundred separating these teams. Another very, very close game. Just like I was talking about with the standings, our games have been just as close. As Togashiro comes in, finds the engage of the Leicester Rider zone. He's there to buy some time, but he's got no ult charging. He will be taken out now, though it looks like the Breeze Wounds is there. King jumps in the back line. The SWBF able to dodge out and all the damage. He's still alive for now. The Culling going to come in and add some more. The auto, though, from Nugu is going to get him down. Big shutdown there as well. Klein in the back line finds that way also. Will kill him. Klein with a huge kill there. Gobi also going to find Nugu and Bezel. I'm going to finish off that kill. Togashiro, he's going to survive as well. The Scatter of the Week comes in. Oven Johnson, the last member alive here, but he's a one-man wrecking crew. Gobi with a flay away, but I think he's going to die as well. And looks like it's going to be one member alive for both sides. Oven Johnson going man mode with a triple kill. And Togashiro on the other side is going to survive after a good engage. Well, it just wasn't good enough. Oven Johnson making this Yorick work even in the team fights. He doesn't need to just split push. It's usually where Yorick shines, but if used correctly, it can be a great team fighter as well, too. As now he's set his sights on this mid lane inner turret. He's going to get sent up underneath it. Continuing to go. He's tanking this turret this entire time. One more auto will do it, but now Oven Johnson in trouble. SWBF is here, and Oven Johnson will go down. 1,000 gold shutdown over Togashiro, actually. SWBF did not pick that one up, but still a huge shutdown there. Took aggro for so long. Oven Johnson barely had any health left when Togashiro and SWBF came in to fight. Now Klein has started up the Baron. Togashiro and SWBF here to join him. Gobi and Bezlime are making their way over. There's a control ward on this side. King does have ultimate available. No flash, though, so one-way trip for him. And looks like the turn will come up. But, oh, a huge stun! Down the AD carry goes. And now in front line, no chance for Soraka heal. 2 more kills. Klein going to miss that stun thereby also. But Licensed Rider thereby also should fall on this one. 1 trade kill, but that's not going to be enough. Togashiro and SWBF false. This may mean that there's no Baron potential. But no, they're going to try it anyway. Oven Johnson is respawning and should make his way out. He's 1v3'd before. And now that they remember that, ReBrand is going to back off. Still a team fight win for them, though. And they should be able to get a mid lane inner turret, I think, if they push it. But nope, they're going to back. They're not going to get greedy. They don't want to die. All die to Oven Johnson because they've done it before. Fantastic, though. Engage from ReBrand once again. They were in the Baron pit, and the hook over the wall plus the glacial prison. Glacial prison. I was right. Doubted myself, but there was no reason to. The glacial prison and the death sentence hit at the exact same time, basically, onto Nuagu. I think that's how you say his name. It's French or something. I don't know. I can only say basic names. I'm from North America. What do you expect from me? I'm not cultured. Now the Mountain Drake is the target, though. 4 Drakes have already been taken. This will be the 5th of the game. Again, the gold lead and kills are very, very close, but ReBrand with a slight lead. Mountain Dragon is secure. They already have 2 oceans as well, so good setup for Baron. Maybe going to try again here as they clear out the mid lane. Setting up vision here in the river. But no, the call is to go down mid lane here. Another good stun from Bezelheim, but nothing found off the back of that one. Gobi with a good death sentence. ReBrand has been hitting their skill shots all game, but sometimes it backfires on them because they hit a skill shot that they never should have. They're like, wow, that was a fantastic play. I guess we got to fight. And they go in, but this time not going to get baited by themselves. And now, the turn to the Baron has come, but priority mid is here, and maybe BB Clocks is just going to keep pushing down mid. ReBrand's got to worry about this base, so they're going to pull back off this. Very important, but they now have vision control of the river for the most part. Togashiro with a good Arctic Assault will get away. SWBF, Licensed Rider gets pushed back. A big wish from Soraka. Licensed Rider gets 4 members in the front line. Klein in the back line. Almost, thereby also has no health left. He's basically no help in this team fight anymore. Gobi gonna find the stun. Licensed Rider with so much damage in the front line. He's tanking up so much as well. ReBrand gonna lose that one 2-0. Thereby also just barely survived and used both summoner spells. So that's a huge, huge cooldown not available now there for thereby also. And he's also very low for this Baron take, and he's actually just straight up backing. So there's only 4 members on this Baron, and 3 members still alive. Mid jungle AD carry here for ReBrand. There's a potential for a contest. Smite available for both junglers. Goes over, nope. The Baron will go over here to BB Clocks. Tokashiro trying to get something back for it. An engage maybe here. Nugu is going to flash away. Culling coming out. Nugu shifts over the wall. Tokashiro falls with his Arctic Assault. Last one is used, but not quick enough. SWF is going to be there. The shutdown comes through, getting another kill back. His 8th of the game. The most tied with Oven Johnson in the game. As we get Blade of the Rune King and a second tier. So no Gunblade, just going to be Blade of the Rune King into an Archangels now for Nugu. There's more defensive stats from the Soraka. Going to be picking up the Locket after the Athenes, which is a very interesting build order. But gives her some tankiness in the backline to deal with Klein and other threats like Bezelheim. Now Baron on the side of BB Clocks, but looks like this turret will go over to ReBrand. Because everyone back, they found a little opening to pick up the inner turret in the mid lane, which should help out a little bit. Evens up the score there, so now both sides are down to their inhibitor turrets. Now the resets will come in. Everyone getting ready to go for this Baron. Soraka just picking up that last little bit she needed for the Locket. So everyone good to go. This Baron push will start up. Oven Johnson continuing to wait in the bottom lane for his teammates to push out. So they're playing it very methodically. They understand what they need to do. BB Clocks is not going to throw off this Baron, it looks like. Overextend and get caught. Oven Johnson, again, playing very, very passively. He's not started pushing out yet. Update on the Grievous Wound situation. Klein and SWF both have Grievous Wounds, as well as Bezelheim, so important all 3 damage sources have them now. So they should be continuously applied in this next team fight, I'd imagine. But now ReBrand is getting impatient now, waiting for BB Clock to push out. They're trying to get some aggression of their own, but King coming in with the ultimate. He finds Syndra in the backline, but no damage there. The flash away. Gobi flays. The Colin coming out doing a lot of damage, but Gobi, he's getting very low. Able to run away for now. Klein coming in from a flank, may be able to find his way into the backline and kill thereby also. If he could do that early, that would be huge. Let's this Rider now ultless though, which is big. King also used his. Only 1 ultimate left. And that's the main of the mist, which just got killed, so that's on cooldown as well. Every single ultimate used now for BB Clocks. And only the culling from SWF on the other side for ReBrand, which means that this next team fight, they have a huge advantage in terms of cooldowns. Flash is also still down from thereby also, which is huge. Bezelheim has just used his. But Flash advantage is there, ult advantage is there for ReBrand. A team fight win is certainly in their cards if they play it right. The hook started off will not land. They'll be going fishing, but will not find it. As ReBrand, again, they do not have the Baron buff. The gold is basically dead even. 200 gold lead here for ReBrand, up 3 kills. But the gold lead isn't here. ReBrand just like exerting pressure that I feel like they really shouldn't have, to be honest. As they've now gone on to the Dragon as well. BB Clocks is playing very, very passive. It seems like they tried for an engage, but immediately backed off on it. They didn't overextend, which was good, but ReBrand is just like controlling the game. If they hadn't lost that Baron, I mean, they'd be winning this game really hard right now. But I guess BB Clock just being more patient has won them the team fights that they really shouldn't have at a certain point, you know? What you were talking about earlier, the Ezreal wasn't very strong, the Nocturne wasn't either, but somehow they were winning team fights through the power of Soraka and Oven Johnson going crazy. Gobi the flash forward, able to dodge and never move, but doesn't find the death sentence. Tokashiro going forward as well. His flash fruitless as well, but they're the find thereby also. He's going to flash away, so he's out of this fight. Just the Wish going to come in. Zonias from Bezelheim. Lysis Rider going forward. King going to find Bezelheim out of the Zonias. Gobi now kiting away. The Flay and the Culling will buy him a little bit of room. King following though. License Rider with a flash and never move. Will not find the route he wants. And now everyone gonna get away safely except for Bezelheim. Another engage that was incredibly forced there by ReBrand. And I guess that's the thing that's... They've been in control of the game, but that's why they've continued to lose team fights, is because they've forced engages where on the other side BB Clocks have not. Even when they use everything, they just back off. But now the Siege coming in on the mid lane inhibitor turret. Another team fight maybe breaking out. Tokushiro in the front line. He has no ultimate, but Gobi lands a good hook on a King. Pulls him back in the turret. Tokushiro, though, is forced to back off. Another good hook, but this time on Oven Johnson. Oven Johnson's still going forward, though. He's just running straight through. Gobi dodged out the Mystic Shot and actually survives that last auto from Nungu. He will survive for now, but that inhibitor has gone down. It looks like BB Clocks have broken open the base first, and at the cost of nobody's life. Another good play from them. BB Clocks seems to always be on the back foot, but all of a sudden they just turn things around. It's incredible. They look to be way behind, but then ReBrand overextends and gets too frisky, wants a team fight, and then they just lose. Another Baron has spawned, though. Again, the gold dead even. But ReBrand starting this one off immediately as soon as it spawns. CB coming in from Klein. So everyone will be here. All 5 from both sides should join momentarily. Key ultimates. Soraka does have hers. But not. A King going to go in the backline here. Found an engage, but not exactly where he wanted to. The Wish comes through, and now, Guardian Angels pop for the Nocturne. Klein running away, but he's trying to come make an engage back in. He finds Nugu, but now he runs right back out. Moving in and out, but down he goes. Owen Johnson very low, but he's able to get away. License Rider now taking up 4 men in the front line. He's continuing to chase. SWF goes over the wall. Going to find his way out with the blast cone. Bezelheim now caught. He uses the zonies to buy some time. License Rider will go down. Now SWF forced to run away. So it looks like another fight where it's lost by ReBrand 2-1. But License Rider did fall, which is nice to get him out of there. But on the other side, Klein and Bezelheim did fall as well. Meaning that BB Clocks, yep, they won another team fight. I don't know how they're doing it, to be honest, but the power of this rocket cannot be understated, I suppose. Been super important. Even without the heal and shield buff items, he still just heals for so much at this stage in the game with all those skill points. And Athene's obviously does boost it. Just you have a locket as well, so. Plus, you have the Swain ulti, which is one of the better team fighting tools. And on the other side, Tokushiro, Klein, even SWF to a certain extent have to kind of get in there to do their damage. They're not long-range champions. Right now, it looks like ReBrand just having trouble killing Oven Johnson and License Rider. That's really their biggest problem. King isn't actually getting much done in terms of the backline. When I say, killing people, he distracts them, though. That's the important thing he's been doing this team fight, as he's absorbing a lot of pressure and a lot of resources that are being used. Bezelheim has used Flash and Zonies multiple times to get away from King. And sometimes he just picks up low health targets, so while he's not doing, like, killing everyone, he's got a lot of value, and then let's just Rider and Owen Johnson come in and just kill everything on the back end of it. The wave is pushing the top side for ReBrand, but of course mid lane not in their favor with the supers running down there. Gobi laying in wait, finds the hook on Licensed Rider, but the ult is used by him. Can't dive in the backline for King. He finds Bezelheim, uses the Zonias. Klein is in the backline, but thereby also Nungu going to take care of him. Tokushiro is here, but he's not found the CC he needs. Gobi and SWF super low. Everyone forced to run from ReBrand, and they've lost another team fight. Gobi going to fall a double kill here for the Ezreal. Nungu is doing well, and Bezelheim looks like he's going to go down. He's flashed away, but he gets slowed up by another Mystic Shot. And Oven Johnson doesn't have any ghouls to help out. Nungu goes over the wall with another Arcane Shift. Another Mystic Shot, 2 more, but that's not going to be enough. Bezelheim with the fancy footwork is going to buy a lot of time, but he should go down. Thereby also actually finds the kill, finally. But using the flash there may be worth. They bought a ton of time because the rest of BB Clocks was forced to chase him. Thereby also dangerously low. Gotta be careful there, buddy. But the Elbow Dragon will fall. Good news is BB Clocks only has the 1. So not that powerful. But not too shabby either. BB Clocks, though, finally taking the gold lead here. About 2,000. Again, at this stage in the game, not a huge deal, but it's just important to note because we've basically been within like 500 gold this entire game. So a 2,000 gold lead, even at 40 minutes, is actually something to speak about. Still, there are lots of items to come in for both sides. Mostly for ReBrand. Klein is struggling to put together the items he needs. On the other side, the Ezreal maxed out, but same with the York. But the Nocturne is nowhere close, and Swain is still looking for 2 items as well. 2 more items, I should say. So some people are getting close, some people have maxed out because their builds are just cheaper overall, or they're doing better, but everyone needs usually, like, if you average, it's about 1 or maybe 2 more items for everyone. And the supports are actually sitting on 3 items as well for the most part. Soraka, 2.5. Again, her item's a bit more expensive because of what she's chosen. Now the siege has begun. BB Clocks looking for something. Licenseless Rider. He's already used the ultimate, able to get the pull on SWBF, but another Relentless Pursuit gets him away, and this turret gets taken down. 40 minutes in, 23 to 25 in kills again. Gold lead dead even as well. Nine kills for this Lucian, but has not found the team fights they need from him. Hook goes wide this time. Gobi is looking, but they need to find the perfect engage. They have not found it yet. Oh, good scatter of the week. Has found the stun on Alvin Johnson. Into the backline goes Klein, but Nuga gets away. Wish comes down. King gonna buy some time, but down in the Guardian Angel goes. Thereby also in trouble in the backline. And nope, he will survive. Thereby also with a great flash away. 4 members left for both sides. Gobi with a flash. Gonna miss that death sentence. Oven Johnson against 3 members here in the back line. The Guardian Angel's gonna buy him some time, but he should go down. But not before he does, though. He finds the kill. And down the Guardian Angel goes Gobi here. SWF here. Hook, perfectly timed. Finds Oven Johnson right out of it. True Barrage comes in, but Oven Johnson should fall. No, the Guardian Angel comes out. Oven Johnson's still alive. Tokoshiro's here. The healing from Oven Johnson. Is he gonna survive? One more on him. Yep, down he goes. SWF though. Now on to Nugu. And he should find that kill, but SWF is very low. He's going to clear with these minions here, get the healing, and Culling coming out. Shift away from Nugu. The Culling just barely not reaching him. Oh, he does survive. Both 80 carries alive, but they're the only ones left. Oh my god, no, the shift in! Nugu wins the 1v1. SWF goes down. The Ezreal going to come out on top, and looks like he's going straight for the inhibitor. Klein is respawning in 8 seconds. There he goes. He's trying to get the Triforce procs. And he gets the inhibitor once again. Beautiful, beautiful play. The shift in actually gets him the kill, and importantly, the inhibitor at the end of all that, just 1 member survives. That was enough to get the inhibitor, and that's what's important here in terms of map and winning this game potentially. .44 minutes in, though, just 1 inhibitor has been taken down twice, albeit, but just 1 inhibitor in the mid lane here for BB Clocks, and they're going to try and start the dragon. The Rift Scuttle vision is here. They know it's happening, so ReBrand has come over and trying to make something happen. Tokoshiro has Smite, King has Smite, and well, he'll use it, secures the Baron. A second Baron here. Alvin Johnson gets done up by Klein, but he's continuing to go forward. The shield going to be huge here. King found his line into the back for SWBF. But he's going to go down before he can find the kill and the fear. Evan Johnson The Grievous wounds are on him, but he's still getting the healing. He needs to stay alive. Tokashiro with a big stone plate comes in. He's just so tanky. Oven Johnson now goes... He's still alive somehow, but now Klein finally finds the kill. SWF, he's trying to kite away in the backline, but let's just Rider flash forward. Double kill now for Nugo on the backside. Thereby also, he's going to go down finally to Klein and Tokashiro. Now there's just 2 members left alive. 3, excuse me, for ReBrand, and 2 on the other side for BB Clocks. And ReBrand has finally won a team fight. Again, I don't think they're going to get much off it, but they finally do win a team fight. Maybe that could give them some... Well, now we are 45.5 minutes in. Many team fights later. Again, still very even. We've got a dragon spawning soon. Actually, it is spawned already. It's the Elder, so... Again, the second one of the game. We've seen a couple Barons. We've seen a couple Elders now. And TP coming in from Klein. Looks like we're going to have another team fight. Kane goes in the backline, smite available for both junglers. Elder Drake will go over though. ReBrand, huge smite here from Tokashiro. Licensed Rider go down on the other side. Tokashiro trying to make something happen in the backline, but SWF has already fallen. Klein here with the damage. Oven Johnson and Nugo still firing away. There's just 3 members left, but they're doing work. Down he goes Tokashiro, and Bezlime, the last one's alive. Down he goes. Yellow Drake was big pickup, but now Bezlime is probably going to die for it. No, he might just get away. Oven Johnson. Ghouls find their way onto him. Bezlime, he's trying to run away. The Scatter of the Week is huge. Looks like he will get away, but that's 1 Elder Dragon buff. And now York is TPing back down, thereby also trying to interrupt the back here from Bezlime. He's going to find the Scatter of the Week stun, though. Thereby also is so tanky. He's got a lot of resistances. He's got a Spear Visage down there. Bezlime just running out of mana before he can kill this Soraka, and the Soraka is going to harass him until he can't end the game. Oh my goodness. Oven Johnson might just end this one. He's procking the Triforce. The Nexus is under fire. The minions are here. The super minions. This should be the end of the game. Oven Johnson ends it. 13 kills for Oven Johnson. 12 for SWF, but Oven Johnson comes out with a big, most important kill, the kill of the Nexus. Game 1. We'll go over to BB Clocks in the end. A fantastic game 1 from them. Spectacular stuff out of them. Did not have a great early game, but hung in it. Oven Johnson was able to break open the first turret after a rough couple of first minutes. They were able to pull it back in, actually get the first turret off a good trade. And there you go. BB Clock's going to take game 1. And what a game 1 it was. Alright, we're going to take a short break and then be back for game 2. Should have Super Segoy in here, so we'll get everything sorted out and then we'll come back here for game 2. But don't go anywhere. Stick around because we got game 2 of BB Clocks vs. ReBrand coming in just a couple of minutes.